The next element that we'll be covering are the burritas, or sweeps. These are very fun movements. Again, they must come from the basic elements. So we'll start with the first style of sweep, coming from a back cross step or back ocho. The leader takes my foot and sweeps it around. And he can do that again. So let's take a closer look at the technique. One more time. You remember in the last chapter we did a parada. In that stopping or parada position, I had my weight split. In this moment, George will indicate a complete change of weight back to my right foot so that he can prepare to sweep my foot. So it's a little bit different. He gives me the lead to send my weight back into the right foot. That leaves my left foot free for him to sweep. While he's sweeping, I want to remain in the same position. Notice the position. My right foot is crossed slightly behind my left, almost in the same track as my left. Thighs are together and closed, and I keep this position, pivoting on my axis from my head right down to the ball of my right foot. So George can step around as many times as he likes and sweep me in one piece going around. I'm pivoting on the ball of my right foot. And this is what we call a sundial style of sweeping. There's another style of sweeping, though, it's much more linear. It, too, must start with one of the basic elements, so we'll do it first from back ochos. Here's the back cross steps or back ochos. And from this last back cross step for me, George can pick up my free foot, which doesn't have any weight on it, and sweep it through. Notice the position of our legs. We pass right through the middle of our standing legs. We bend the knee and sneak through there, stretching it out again. The knee is always facing forward. So this is not an opening up in this way. Let's see if we can show it another direction here. From the back ocho, we have sweep. Maybe we can just turn a little bit here, George. There we go. Okay, so the camera can see us a little bit better. That's a good angle. Okay, so we're coming right through the middle. What we don't want to do is let the leader open our thighs this way. This is not so attractive. So we want to stay in a position as if we're stepping back and stepping forward. And the leader does the same. Very often after a sweep, we have a sandwich. Now, this is not the only basic element which can be the foundation for this sweep. George might perhaps lead a molinete. And from this molinete, he can also find a place for the sweep. The technique is the same. Yes. Now, we can also have a sweep from another basic element. We'll try it from the forward cross step. Perhaps we go to the fifth position first and cross. After my forward cross step, he can pick up my foot and sweep it. Again, this is a linear sweep, so you can see the technique is the same. Usually we only do it once, but we're just kind of going back and forth to show you. We also have what we call a reverse sweep. It's a bit of an illusion, but we'll show you. It will begin with the foundation of a back cross step, and then the leader seems to be sweeping my foot across. Now, what's a little bit unusual about that, we'll show you again, and we'll do it a little slower. This time, his foot really isn't positioned in such a way that he could sweep me. If his foot was on the other side, he could literally take my foot and sweep it. But now it's not. It's on the outside of my foot. And thus, when we move in this way, it appears like a sweep. However, the lead is actually coming from the torso. So if George were to lead this movement without the foot, you would see exactly the same movement from the follower. Side with my left foot. That movement is led from the torso, and I followed that movement from his torso. The difference is that he places his foot there to make it appear like a sweep. Now, we have one more linear sweep, or burrita, and this one's a little bit different too. Again, it's led by the leader. I don't initiate any of these sweeps myself, but this one appears as though I am. He's inducing me to step forward in the forward cross step, and again placing his foot in front of mine. So it's very similar in technique to the last one we talked about. Let's try that one once again. Again, I step forward with my right foot because he's asking me to take a forward cross step. He places his foot there in front of me, making it look very cool, like I'm sweeping his foot. Let's try it the other direction that can get a better view. We go to the cross. George leads a forward cross step. Placing his foot in front of mine makes him look very cool, like he's able to sweep me magically with his foot. And now something very playful, the bicicleta. This is a type of sweep because it involves the same technique of sweeping. We'll show you what this looks like. A little bicycle action, or bicicleta. And George can go anywhere he wants with that. And then we can finish the step. Once again, just a couple times around. Here we have bicycle, circle it. Okay, once more.
Let's go from this side.
This direction, maybe you can see better. He sends me forward as if I'm sweeping his foot, and now he sweeps me up and around in a circle and back down to the floor. This is a typical bicicleta. How do we make such movements? We have nice connection between our feet, the same way we could with our hands. If we have nice intention to keep a connection between our hands, George can lead my hand anywhere, up and down, different directions. I maintain the connection. If he doesn't want to keep the connection, he can easily step away very quickly. And this is the same connection that we have with our feet. When I feel George's foot next to my foot, I maintain the connection so he can go any direction, and he can lift it in the air and do all kinds of interesting things if he likes. Now he's getting very carried away. And those are the burritas, or sweeps.